If you're looking for a serious thermal tool for outdoor scouting, hunting, occasional multi-purpose thermal work, this one pretty much has the best price to performance ratio out there. And full disclosure, Thermal Master have sent me a sample of the T2 Max for this review. I haven't been paid to make this video, and I'm able to speak freely about my thoughts on the T2 Max. And I've reviewed the Thermal Master X3 in an earlier video. Here it is. I actually got lucky and I bought this from a shop that was closing down here in Melbourne, and that was pretty much the start of my adventure, or I guess misadventure, into thermal cameras. And I think I was really sporting away because the X3 has significantly higher resolution specs, of course, a high price tag as well, but the T2 Max comes at a lower price, significantly lower price, and in many ways has essentially the same performance as the X3 in terms of long range detection, identification of thermal objects and targets. And yeah, like I said, I just think the T2 Max is hands down the best value long range thermal camera out there. So let's take a closer look. All right, let's take a look at what you get in the box. It's multi-purpose handle when you get it. So yeah, in order to take it out, you've got to unscrew these 4 screws there. There's a couple other screws here that attaches to the USB port, but it's actually pretty simple if you want a smaller, I guess, profile. If you don't want to carry around this entire thing, if you just plug it straight into your phone, that's an option. Now, having the handle is good because the handle actually has a battery. They include this 5,000 milliamp hour cell in there, so that will charge either the pad that you're using or phone that you're using and then power the camera. So it does greatly extend the battery life. And Thermal Master have also included a sample of this pad here. So it's the Titan Pad Plus XK550, and so basically this thing functions as a screen that you just attach here, and we'll demonstrate how this works afterwards. Plug in. So instead of using your phone, you can use this, and it does have an internal battery as well. So yeah, I think this is good if you don't want to use your actual phone, because yeah, I mean, if you drop it or something like that, maybe you might damage your phone. But I do find with the phone itself there, yeah, it just runs a little bit better, and there's a few more options like screen recording, that kind of thing, which I prefer. So when possible, I tend to use my phone. Thermal Master also include this carry case. So it's just got a zipper, zip here on the side, and that's like a little lens cover that you get 2. So one that's attached to the actual handle itself, and then this one here, so when you remove the camera module, you can actually slip that over the top. So I had to use that the other day. Couple of tools here, screwdriver and an Allen key. So yeah, screwdriver for unscrewing the bits and pieces on the actual handle. But you've also got, for example, these additional mounting options. So if you want to attach it to some Picatinny rails, you're able to do that. And actually this thing is meant to be modular, so you unscrew it and then the handle comes off, and then this part here from here upwards will actually attach to your Picatinny rails. You can also mount it on a bow as well, which is pretty cool. And see what else you get in here. You get a USB-C cable. Okay, so I guess that's if you want to plug it directly into your phone, but you want a bit of room to move around. And you've got a quick start manual here, and also you get a little case, like I said, if you just want to carry the module around without the handle. And this is the Titan Pad Plus. And nothing really remarkable about it. It feels fairly tough, and you've only got a power switch here on the top. Let me just press that, can turn it on. Should be able to turn on, yeah, there you go, Thermal Master. And it's basically an Android tablet. And you've got a charging port here as well at the base, but yeah, it feels fairly rugged. There's a couple of small mounting points up the top there as well. And yeah, of course, you need to attach it directly to the device here with the USB-C port to turn it on. And here's a little side-by-side comparison with the ThermalMaster X3, and I'll do a full video comparison of both of these in another video. It's just too much to include in one video for now. And you can see the actual diameter of the lens is significantly wider than the ThermalMaster X3, the lens there. So it's got a smaller aperture, lets in more light, or I guess infrared, and is overall it's more sensitive actually than the ThermalMaster X3. And I was very surprised when I had both of these out side by side. I actually found that the T2 Max got a little bit closer to objects and performs just as well in terms of identification and detection of long-range thermal objects. So that's why I really think this is such a great value option. And the mount, the handle is pretty much identical. It's the same device. In terms of specifications, the detection range of the ThermalMaster T2 Max is 1,640 yards or 1.5 kilometers, and that's with the reference of a 1.8 meter tall person as the target. And the lens is a 15 millimeter lens. Okay, infrared resolution is 256 by 192 at 12 micrometers. Also has a 50 hertz frame rate, so it's buttery smooth. The video is buttery smooth. Got a 15 times digital zoom. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Net D is less than or equal to 20 millikelvin, which, like I mentioned, is actually better than the ThermalMaster X3, which is their flagship model. Does have a higher resolution though compared to the T2 Max, and you've got that f/0.8 lens in there, which is a huge upgrade from the original T2 Pro, which has basically a 40 millikelvin rating. And this tactile handle that's included has quite a few interesting uses and applications. So yeah, various mounting options, of course. Picatinny on Picatinny rails is your most obvious one, but an interesting application is, I guess, putting it on your helmet. So you can mount it onto a helmet and have like a bike, on your bike or something like that, pair it up with the screen, or if it's mounted on your helmet, run a wire down maybe to a screen that's attached to your arm, so you can have thermal vision as you move around. Use it for navigating at night. Overall, the specs of the T2 Pro show that this isn't a budget module. You're really getting a high performance detector and sensitivity that allows detection of very subtle thermal gradients, resulting in a more detailed and higher contrast image. Okay, so I've got the ThermalMaster T2 Max connected up with the Titan pad here, and I'm just going to go through the various features, basically how you use this thing. So the focus dial here is just on the front of the camera, so you just rotate this essentially to focus. So if you see that I've got a flashlight there in the background, I can just focus it so that it manages to create a sharper image. So that's probably the best I can get. And you've got a few different features here in the top right hand corner. You've got different color palettes, pseudo color palettes. So you've got like a bird watching mode, inverted one there. You've also got this one here, white hot, black heat. That's like an isotherm mode, I believe, just highlights the hottest areas on the screen. I don't really use that too often. That's your normal red hot mode. And you've also got this night vision mode, which is pretty cool. So if you don't want anything else to stand out besides any high thermal objects, it filters everything out. So it's almost like an isotherm mode as well. But I tend to use either the white heat, the black heat, or the normal iron red mode, as you can see here. And there's a few other bits. There's like a ninja mode here, which is like a kind of almost like an isotherm mode. Now these two modes here, apparently, if you toggle between one and the other, I can't really see the difference, but during summer or hotter periods, hotter environments, the red version is a little bit better. So yeah, it just allows you to distinguish differences in temperature a bit better. So this here is to activate the reticle, and there's a few different reticles that you can choose from in the settings. We'll go through that a little bit later. You can obviously like increase or decrease the size of this as well if you want. Just leave it like that. Should disappear in a moment. There we go. And I'll just disable that. The rangefinder I don't use, but that is another additional accessory that you can get with this camera. And up the top here, the top left hand corner, there's a few bits and pieces. This allows you to identify the hottest area of the scene. So it's kind of like an object tracker. So maybe you've got an animal running across or just poking its head out. It's going to hover over it and actually locate that, so you don't have to visually look through the image too hard. And if you've got the X3 mode here, so the X3 is the upscaling mode. So you can see, I'll bring it up a little bit closer. That's with the X3 off and the X3 on. So it kind of adds a little bit of additional edge detection and sharpness. Tends to work, I believe, a lot better up close rather than further away. I don't see much of a difference further away. This is the shutter, so it's kind of like a manual shutter button. It does it automatically anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just when you change from looking at different thermal contexts, the calibration switch will activate automatically, so that you can recalibrate to the various relative temperatures in the new scene. In order to take a picture, just hit the camera and then you can press that to take a photo, or press the second button there to take a video, and you can stop recording. Now there's no microphone on this Titan screen, so you're only going to get visuals on there, but if you are using your phone, you're going to get audio as well. And that last one there basically just shows you the videos. You can play them back in here as well. Something cool as well is that if you double tap the screen, you can get a full screen sort of display, but it does seem that you lose a little bit of information just due to the aspect ratio. So it seems like you lose a little bit from the top and the bottom for it to kind of crop. Anyhow, there's a settings menu here, so you can update the device via Wi-Fi, temperature setting, burn protection. So basically, if you're looking at a high thermal object, if you point this accidentally to the sun or something like that, it's going to deactivate, which is very important. And yeah, you shouldn't be pointing this at any high thermal objects. This camera is more for observation, long range scouting and observation, rather than measuring the temperature of high temperature objects. What have you got next? You've got the infrared picture in picture. So that's kind of like creates a little zoomed up version of whatever you're looking at. I don't really use this all that much, to be honest. I don't find it so useful. Infrared image flip, so you can flip the screen. Again, I don't use that. I think this is more for if you're mounting this device onto some Picatinny rails or something like that, and you need to actually change the view of the device, the screen. Okay, that's going to be helpful. Auto shutter switch, so I leave that on so I don't have to refresh the shutter every now and then. You've got these display settings, so yeah, okay, I disabled the time display, but usually there's like a little time indicator down at the bottom, and you've got some brightness setting options here that you can change as well. What else do you have? Your cursor style, so you can change a few of those bits and pieces. In general settings, I've turned off the watermark, otherwise it has this thermal master watermark in there, which I don't need. Language, there's Wi-Fi settings again, so yeah, to connect to your Wi-Fi to update it. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I mean, this is the last thing I thought I'd show you, so you can like zoom in, pinch to zoom, and this goes all the way to 15 times. Okay, given it is digital zoom, but still, yeah, it can be useful maybe if you're just monitoring, you want to monitor just a few pixels essentially for any movement or changes, that kind of thing. It's a pretty cool feature. Yeah, only just seems to take a little while to zoom in and out. Okay, so you can't really adjust that sensitivity at all, but there you go. Okay, so some considerations to keep in mind if you're thinking of getting the ThermalMaster T2 Max. So the first one is size and weight. Okay, so if you use this camera with the included tactical handle, you know, it's bigger, heavier than a standard USB-C plug-in module. You know, here's an example of a smaller plug-in module, the ThermalMaster P2 Pro. But the actual module for the T2 Max isn't that much larger than this one. It might be 2.5 times larger. And I really like how the handle just adds a bit of extra protection to the camera as well. Okay, of course, you've got like the additional features like the extra battery mounting options as well. You can remove the module, like I said, from the handle, plug it directly into your phone or into the Titan pad. So yeah, that's why I guess ThermalMaster have included that smaller case. The second consideration is the focus and field of view. So the T2 Max uses manual focusing, meaning that you're going to need to adjust focus when distance changes. And I found that I had to adjust the focus more often on my T2 Max compared to my ThermalMaster X3, just due to the larger aperture. So yeah, if you want a thermal camera that is, I guess, fixed focus, then I'd probably go for something like the ThermalMaster P2 or the Thor 001 or 002. The field of view is also narrow, so that means you can only see a very small, limited area of what you're actually looking at and nowhere near into your peripherals. So this is just pointed in front of me to my computer. This is the USB video card, the video converter installed in my computer, so you can see it's heating up. But yeah, very small kind of area. And yeah, it does make it difficult to navigate as well if you're thinking of using this thing to navigate due to the high optical zoom. But yeah, on the plus side, the long range performance of the T2 Max is really out of this world. The third consideration is the complexity. So there's a lot of modes in there, reticles, overlays, and with these modular attachments as well. So yeah, there is a bit of a learning curve. So yeah, if you just want a simple point and view thermal, this might be more than you need. This is really a specialized tool for long range outdoor spotting. The final consideration is cost. Now, given the spec sheet and the features of the ThermalMaster T2 Max, the price of this module is going to be higher than many basic entry-level thermal units out there, but you are paying for things like the low millikelvin, 20 millikelvin, 50 hertz frame rate, nice buttery smooth performance. You've got this long range capability, 1.5 kilometer range capability, versatility of mounting options as well. So yeah, I think this is really a great value, lower priced alternative to the ThermalMaster X3, and I may actually prefer it for long range spotting because it does get me a little bit closer. The optical zoom is a little bit better than the X3. So yeah, overall, I think the ThermalMaster T2 Max is a very capable, flexible, and high performance thermal imaging kit. And it's tailored for serious users, hunters, long range outdoors use, tactical, even building inspectors who want a longer range thermal system. And I wouldn't say it's the best for up close use. You can use it up to 30 centimeters from objects and still get focus, but just due to the limited field of view, you might want a camera with a larger field of view like the Thor 001, 002, which will give you a full image of the room. But yeah, it's surprisingly still good with close-up use with circuit boards. I'll put a little demo of that in a moment. But yeah, for a long-range thermal, I really think the T2 Max is one of the most compelling options at this price point. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have questions, drop them below in the comments and I will get back to you. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, do me a favor, click the like button and share it with someone who might be interested. It just helps me to get my channel out to more people. And if you want to see more tech and thermal camera reviews, make sure you subscribe. Alrighty guys, so I'm here at my desk and I thought I would do some really short range shots with the Thermal Master T2 Max. This is a device that's, I guess, designed for long range, but you can still use it for some close-up tasks. So here on the table, I'm just focusing the dial. I need to do this very carefully just to get it completely focused. This is a little circuit board, and I'm going to turn it on. Okay, and you can see here there's the component glowing. Let me just, yeah, so that is pretty much, I've got it focused in about 30 centimeters away from the circuit board. Okay, so as you can see, that's still pretty decent. If you need to look at a circuit board up close, maybe identify some faults, yeah, you can still get in there. I mean, when the components are really, really small, you're probably going to have some trouble, but you can see bits of it glowing. You just flip this over, have a look. What's there, the capacitors. The moment you move it a bit closer like that, yeah, basically that's where you can't see anything. It starts to get all blurry. Let me just hang this thing up a little bit. It's fallen off the table. Okay, so here it is. About 30 centimeters away from me again. Right, and yeah, the T2 Max does not measure temperature as well, so it's going to be more of like a visual kind of thing, but as you can see, pretty impressive. You can see all the little wide bits underneath glowing, like the individual bits and pieces there. Now, I can't get close enough to see the writing on the circuit board. Sometimes you can. Maybe on this larger chip there you can, sort of. But, yeah. Still really impressive if you need to eyeball something. And this is the heatsink and the LED. You can see underneath as well the wire is glowing. And I'm getting pretty hot underneath there as well. Let's take this off. Oops. Okay. So, yeah, I just thought I'd do a quick little demo of that. I think some of you might, I guess, wonder if this T2 Max would be okay for close-up use, and it can be used like this. So I've got another light here on the desk, and I do have to seem to have to focus this thing fairly often as well. Let me just screw this around. There we go. And that's like a little lamp, O-light, O-lantern stretch. Okay. Laptop here in the back. And the camera here, but it's not actually on, so it's like, it's pretty cold. Swivel around in my chair, and you can also see, like, for example, I've had my feet here for a little bit. I'll just try to focus this in as well. It does take a little bit of, it's kind of hit and miss really. There we go. And you can see on the ground it's picking up like footprints and stuff. So if I stand up and have a little walk away, you can still detect roughly where I've been sitting. You know, that's the chair as well where I've been sitting. One thing I've noticed is that it is a little bit more harder to focus than the X3, and I think it's just more sensitive, and there's a bit more zoom to it as well. So just look around my apartment and you can see not all too much, but there I've got my fridge, and a bit of heat coming from the side of the fridge there, so that's basically the heat coming through the wall. That's just a bit of reflection from me and the side of the fridge as well. You can see the I guess the coils here just behind. And yeah, because the zoom on this thing is so intense, like, it's just difficult to focus it up close, but it works. Yeah, that's my freezer. So really one of the best things about having this focus dial on thermal cameras. Okay. Now here is a little intercom apartment, so you can see the heat map here to the right hand side, and I've got here my switchboard, so you can see the right, oops, that's not the switchboard, it's here, so you can see the right hand side, there's a bit of heat there, so I'm going to open it up and see if we can spot the, there we go, the fuse. And again, just got to focus this in to get a sharper image. There we go. I'm about 30 centimeters away from it. And here I am in front of a mirror. Just focus this in a little bit. Okay. So that's what I look like, just reflected back. There is an X3 feature as well. There's a few of these other color palette modes, but I'll test them outside. I think they'll have better luck out there. But yeah, the X3 mode, basically, if we look here just on in the back, there's a little PowerPoints and stuff, things on the desk that I was testing before. If I press the X3, you can see there's this upscaling kind of effect there, so you get a bit of added sharpness and detail. Alright, turn it off and you can see it becomes a little more pixelated, so that's pretty cool. If we turn off this light, because it's the heat sink's not the best when it's on for a really long period of time. Okay, so I am now outside just looking down on the street and seeing what we can spot here. So we can get really close. A couple of cars, you can see these cars have just parked recently, and there are some heat patches behind in some spots, just showing, like for example here there was a car parked there earlier. A couple of these hot spots here, I don't know what they are as well, but pretty easy to spot people, as you can see all the way out there in the distance. And you can also activate the X3 mode here, so it adds a bit of extra, as you can see, a little bit of extra sharpness. And all the way out in the back in the distance there, you can see a car. Try to focus that in a bit more. Car that's just like parked in the back. Normally you get people kind of walking down there, so cars driving past. Can't really see anyone there at the moment. If I turn the X3 off, as you can see, it becomes a little more pixelated, but still completely fine. Bits and pieces, thermal bits and pieces on the rooftops and things like that you can spot. And of course you do have a bit of digital zoom, so I can just zoom in like this, pinch to zoom, pop the X3 on, it looks a little bit better like that. But just so impressive. I mean, that's like 6 times, 7 times, and I know it's only just digital zoom and it's very hard to keep this thing steady with my hands, but look at that, look how close you can get to that car out in the distance. Try to make this bearable for some of you who are watching. That's with the X3 on. If I turn the X3 off, as you can see, there's a fair bit of a difference in the sharpness, but it also applies this kind of mosaic-like effect, which some people may or may not like. Let's zoom back out again. Okay, yeah, so there's quite a bit of optical zoom already applied. It actually gets closer, a little closer than my Thermal Master X3, in fact. So I am out here with the Thermal Master T2 Max and doing some kind of longer range tests here in a park, and
let's see, there's a dog over here. And this thing has some seriously good performance for like a plug-in unit. I was comparing this a bit earlier, and I'll post another video of it at some stage of a comparison between this and the ThermalMaster X3, and it really is on par in terms of identification, detection of thermal objects. Dog, and it has a really small aperture, so 0.8 aperture. But it gets really close. It even gets closer to stuff than the ThermalMaster X3, in my opinion, just a little bit closer. The X3, because it just has such high lumens, yeah, not lumens, geez, what am I talking about? High pixel count, so high resolution. It makes up for the fact that it doesn't zoom in as much, doesn't have as much optical zoom. But well, I tell you what, I am just super impressed. 50 hertz. Someone walking out there in the back, and I'll pop on a few other kind of modes here. It's like a bird watching mode, and that's like another bird watching mode here. Or I mean, I just use it to find animals and stuff in the trees as well. White heat, black heat. That's like isotherm, one of the isotherm modes, so it will pick up the hottest parts of the scene, and basically just emphasize those more. But I prefer this, just the main warm mode, I suppose. And yeah, I mean, if you're using this thing for navigating, it's really not going to be the best, because it's quite difficult due to the high level of zoom. So it's probably best used, you know, from a stationary position. As you can see, there's lots of wobble, so this is what you're going to be looking at when you're doing the same, basically the same thing as me. Well, if you're walking around with it anyway, but better than nothing if you're in complete darkness. You don't want to use the light or anything like that. And I like how there is this kind of night vision mode here, and basically this will only bring out the hottest thermal objects, and it lowers the screen brightness a lot as well. So if you don't want light kind of reflecting off your face, this is a great mode to have in there. Sort of switch back to these other modes. So it's like the white heat, black heat. So impressive, long range performance. And you can see out the back there is there's a netball game happening, I think, or maybe a basketball game, netball game. So you can really see what all the players are doing all the way out there. And closer by, very easy to spot you know, people's gait, body language as well. Let's have a look out here. Yep. Now over here I did find like a bunch of mice and stuff. They always hang around at the back, so I might be able to find some. Yeah, some birds up here. Look, they're not birds, actually maybe bats. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6, maybe 7. Let's get a bit closer, have a quick look, and maybe test out that digital digital zoom as well. You do get bats around here. That might be a bat. Let's have a look. Oh, one flew over there somewhere. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just difficult because the field of view is there's a smaller, narrower field of view, so it's difficult to just sort of catch on when they do fly off. But yeah, if you're focusing onto a small area, it's good. I can't see anything up there without these, really. Without this, okay, there's a bit of digital zoom. Let's have a look. That's got to be a bat, yeah. Yeah, the holy cow! That is so cool. You can see the like webbing, if I'm not imagining it. Maybe I'll try to get a little closer again, but these the zoom on this is incredible. The optical capabilities, it's yeah, they've gone off somewhere. Yeah. Pretty sure these are bats. Or maybe they're possums. Either way, my arm's getting... Oh, look at that! Captured a number 2. Captured a number 2. That's never happened before in well, not like this anyway. Not in my other videos. Trying to see if I can spot some of them maybe flying around, because I do see some here and there that oh, there, disappeared. Wow, this is so cool. And you can see as they go behind some of the trees, it obscures the heat signature. But like, even if a little bit of is poking out, you can see. Like here as well, this one there probably. Just hanging upside down on these trees. Just the whole tree's just filled with them. Oh, there we go. There's a bat. Yes. So definitely they are bats. Anyway, I'm just hoping to see if I can get another closer up view of one through these trees. Yeah, just like maybe underneath the foliage, but it's really difficult. So cool. I can actually switch to the bird watching mode. Maybe this might make things a bit easier to spot them. But it does make it easier to spot them, but it also obscures a bit of the detail, I think. Very distracting. They're just all over the place, really. There's one, pretty close to me. And if I swap back to the normal black heat mode, white heat mode, let's go back to the normal mode. There's just more a larger variety of tones, a larger tonal range. So like you can see the difference between, say, their paws, the heat on their paws and the rest of their body and the wings and stuff like that. So it just makes it a lot more lifelike, I suppose. But the bird watching mode just isolates the heat signature completely to make them easier to spot if that's your aim. But for observation, I think it's better to keep it on like a mode like this, basically. It's incredible how close I can get to these, and I'm not even oh, holy cow. Okay, I'm gonna go for a little walk. I'm getting distracted, and let's continue on down here. And I'll go down to like a road as well, so you can see how everything looks like. Because at the moment it's all pretty dark here. There is zero light where I'm standing, but that's a nice little find. I didn't expect that to happen. You find these bats just up there. Which family of bats? You find the lower millikelvin value of this camera means that it's able to differentiate small changes in temperature much better. If you use a high millikelvin camera, the big difference you'll find is that everything looks kind of warm. That the ground, the grass almost looks the same warmth / color, right? Whereas this is just so good. See these little mice that hang out near the bushes here. Normally, no one sees them. They hang out inside these bushes. So, yeah, good for spotting vermin as well. There we go. There's one. This is with the X3 mode on. I've just turned it on to clean up the image a bit. Upscales the image. I'm not a huge fan of this, but because as you can see, especially in the distance, things kind of have this mosaic-like effect. But up close for stuff like this, it's actually pretty handy. It cleans up the image nicely. These guys have found a, oh, I think that's their dog. Okay, I thought that was a possum or something. Okay, let's continue on. And some mice, we have some mice here. There they are. Rats, 2 rats. And if they've been sitting there for a while, you see underneath them they leave a heat patch. See where they've been just there, and this one there as well. Sometimes dropping. So if you're looking for animals as well, Jesus, it's like a rat playground. Yeah, if you're looking for animals and fresh droppings, this is a great. God, a game changer, really. All the way out the back there, you can see the cars and bits as well. See if I can just focus the dial it in a touch. There you go. There's a car moving. There's another one here. You can even see the front of it's hotter. Right. having to just focus this thing as I film. Yeah, there's a person just about to go through the center of these trees in a moment. Yep, there. Okay, so here we have the little street, and you can tell some of the cars maybe have parked here recently, like that one there with a bit of heat underneath. Front of that one looks like a bit hotter. Head out this way on the street. Yeah, it's always good I include a few different environments here, because I figure people are going to be using these for different things. So it's a little street view. Yeah. See people walking all the way there in the back, and cars moving across as well. Oh yeah, there we go, a lot of heat in the front of that car. That one here, so it must have just turned on, this one, not turned on, but you know what I mean, just started up, because the engine's not really hot in the front, whereas the one in the back, they've been probably driving around for a bit. So there's lots of little bits of information that you can glean from this that you'd normally not be able to. Well, you wouldn't have an idea unless you went up and actually touched the car. This car here has must have been parked a little while ago, recently I mean, and the exhaust you can see is still hot. Right, front, got the front tires are hot, the brakes or something. There's the brake pad you can see in there, it's heated up. The brakes there. Another thing you can't see is these are not able to see through glass. So that's a restaurant across the street, but you can't see into it. But yeah, the low millikelvin value is really what makes you able to tell the difference between maybe a car that's been there just for a little while or a car that's been parked for a longer, that kind of thing. Okay, because those subtle temperature differences will be reflected in the image like this. Yeah, these things are just so fun to play around with. There's a van parked across the street, and you know, you've got alleyways as well, so that's a little that's like a little alleyway over there. So if you want to check and have a look down that alleyway, for example, and see whether there's anyone down there, look at that, you can see that's pitch black for me looking down there, but with the thermal you can see everything down there. And there's like a couple of glowing bits. I think that could be the camera, and yeah, maybe like a panel, control panel or something there as well. So it's just a great little tool for if you need to even scout ahead and see what's going on. It's pretty damn amazing, if you ask me, that you're able to get something for this price. With this level of performance. I'll just go up the street a bit more, and there's a second alleyway down there that we can check. Have a little closer up look. It's just a bunch of cars here. I don't want them to think that I'm filming them as well inside their cars. Okay, so yeah, this alleyway down here, all right, no one, there's nothing there, right? So it's pretty pretty cool. Look at the exhaust pipe. Just the detail that you get, like for this from mid-range as well, is incredible. I don't think I'll ever get sick of playing around with these, that's for sure.